Scorpio Rising, welcome here to Soul Passages Astrology. My name is Georgia Dempsey and I'm your astrologer, and I'm so thrilled that you came by for your March 23rd eclipse report. I know these eclipses are stirring up everybody's life right now, but knowing what is on the plate in advance can help you to harness the energies in your favor. That's one of the true joys of astrology. So let's talk about what's going on so you know where you stand. And I think for you, Scorpio Rising, one of the key things is for you to really get down to what matters to you the most. Saturn is currently touring your second house of values, asking you to get serious about the important things in your life. Now, for some of you, this will represent a period of working on self-esteem and developing talents. For others, your time is being consumed with earning money so you can set yourself up financially. Others will be reworking their value system and placing a higher priority on spiritual growth or developing artistic talents or whatever it is that's most important to you. And I say this because there are so many planets currently lined up in your fifth house. Not only is this the house of romance and children, but it's also an alchemical cave for your artistic abilities. With Chiron housed here, you may feel as if you've been blocked in expressing your creative voice to the world. And yet, those creative Piscean waters are brewing down there, and they are being inspired by Neptune and Venus. So tap into that vivid imagination that you have to birth your creative voice. Some of you are currently working on films, screenplays. Others of you may be writing books. Works of all sorts of art are highlighted, but you have to get over that fear or wounded feeling, which is represented by Chiron, of having your voice heard or worrying that what you're going to put forth isn't going to be good enough. For others, you may be experiencing writer's block, which can be real, but what are you going to do about it? If you can somehow find a way to use your artwork to better society, this would be a great way to harness this energy, and you'd be on the right track. And I say that because Jupiter and the north node of the moon are sitting in your opposing 11th house. So there are blessings to be gained by using your artistic skills to better humanity. That 11th house is all about social groups and humanity and our vision for society. And a perfect example of this comes from a real dear friend of mine who paints murals. And she's getting pretty well known for it locally. But anyhow, she was assigned the task of creating a mural with some troubled youth at school. And, basically these were the kinds of kids that were considered like near dropouts or nuisances, the problem children of the school district. And yet my friend got them painting a mural of themselves on the school's walls. And lo and behold, pretty soon these troublemakers were showing up to school on time, eager to learn painting techniques. By painting their own faces, they gained an appreciation for themselves and their potential. And rather than rabble-rousing and causing trouble, they were learning to work well as a group. They even started listening to different kinds of music, and some of them were surprised to learn that they were quite inspired by classical tunes. So you never know what's going to come out of something like this. And not only was the end product of the mural quite beautiful, but the students really gained an appreciation for their talents and what their hard work produced. So what can be more inspiring than that? And there again, there's an example of using artwork to better humanity. So that's just one possibility for what I see with this fifth house stuff going on. Many of you also right now have a vision for society. And so how can you harness that? Harness your voice to help society. Do you have a cause that you feel passionate about? For some of you, it's going to be ecological issues, maybe wildlife stuff. Maybe it's a million things. Everybody is so different, but tap into the juice of that passion and then let that voice come forward. For others, this fifth house energy could equate to responsibilities you have in taking care of a sick child. And if this is not your own inner child that feels like its voice is being thwarted, this could represent some true challenges regarding raising and or helping a child who's differently abled. And certainly this would sober up your value system. Again, Saturn in the second house. And it will get you completely focused on what's most important in your life. In this instance, you're being asked to reach out to groups and friends for support. And this is evidenced by that Jupiter North Node in conjunction in your 11th house. And they're all in Virgo. And so I tend to think of clergy. I think of alternative healers. I think of support groups, hospital staff, people who can lend a hand. Just be sure in this instance that your hand is extended to the right people. And I say that because there is a solid square between Jupiter and Saturn. So, if you can't find the help you need immediately, be patient because the square will ease up later on, and then you'll be able to tap into the support systems you need. For some of you, this fifth house energy is simply a calling to bring more fun and joy and passion into your life. You need to tap into that passion that you have inside and see if whatever that is doesn't bring value into your world. Definitely with this configuration, steer clear of leaning on alcohol or drugs to escape. Find a true joyous path that makes you just feel alive and busting with happiness instead. That's a far better example. Dance church would be one thing I could recommend. Sweating your prayers. Wow. Not only do you get exercise, but it cleans your aura and you feel like $1,000,000 when you're done. Hiking can do the same thing if you like outdoor settings, and if you're strapped for cash, this is a wonderful way to get your exercise and be able to enjoy the great outdoors. Now, when it comes to romances, this is probably not the best time to experiment. And I say that because by squaring your fifth house, Saturn is asking you to get serious about your romantic encounters. Are you dating people who value you? We have to think of every person we engage in a serious relationship as someone we can create karma with. So though Chiron may want us to experiment in this house, and often it does, you have to remember that you can, bring some karma into your life if you're not being real conscious about it. Sometimes too, with Chiron down here, you may be thinking that, the knight in the shining armor and the white horse are going to gallop into your life and save you. And, sister, that doesn't always happen that way. And nor should you necessarily be thinking about being the savior in a relationship. Better to create your own joy than to look for someone else to create it for you. You just have to remember happiness is an inside job, and we all have to take responsibility for our own joy. So join groups of friends. That's a good blessing with Jupiter in the North Node in the 11th. Find organizations that have people of like mind. Basically, you're being asked to seek your tribe and connect with those people that can inspire you. Those are ways to make positive changes right now. And, whatever's going on, just know that it'll pass. And I say that because Saturn, who is T-squaring your whole 5th to 11th house axis, has a message. And the Sabian symbol message for this Saturn is the moment of pause, which presages and sustains change. Alert readiness to act, or distress at not knowing what lies ahead. So my advice is get behind the action part of this equation. Life can all too readily pass us by. If you focus on what's important to you right now and work on bringing joy into your life, you're going to be on the right track. Uranus in Aries is asking you also to revolutionize your work and or the way you take care of yourself or a loved one from a health perspective. When spinning in the 6th house, this revolutionary planet creates the perfect configuration for exploring alternative health medicine techniques for healing. It's just positively rambunctious for that, you could say. So this maverick planet wants to stir things up at work. So you may be changing a job. You might be taking technology classes to up your skills. Since I see a need for you to want to bring joy into your life, concentrate on, mind, body, spirit practices that make you feel good. Or just other things that make you feel good from a health perspective. Dance church, salsa lessons, a yoga retreat. Or, so I love this one because Aries is all about new birth and planting seeds. Start an organic garden so you have great food to eat. Not only do you get out and work in the dirt, but you have an end product that is very healthy for you. So those are just a few ideas. Anyhow, Pluto is also sitting like the Hulk at 17 degrees of Capricorn in your 3rd house. And he wants to shake up your routine and provide space for an inner regeneration as well as some deep psychological change. So it is time to rewire your brain. And if you have some negative thinking patterns going on, out with the old, sister, in with the new. Breath of fire exercises can help you, as can Tai Chi or meditation, and this would work just perfectly with that 6th house Uranus. So what classes can you take that would bring new life into you and excitement and get you revved up about your world while connecting with your tribe? Other ways to make good on this 3rd house Pluto are to take some fun weekend trips or plan excursions to interesting locations in your neighborhood. Again, mingle with, people around town. Make a point of connecting with the folks that live nearby. Call up friends and have a chat. Your full Libra Moon, which is a pivotal point of this eclipse, is currently housed in your 12th house. Not only is that shining a light on health matters for you, but that moon wants you to connect with people on a spiritual level since it's in Libra. Again, this could be through artwork, by taking classes, joining neighborhood groups. It's also a good time for you to get in touch with your emotions and subconscious habit patterns, shining a light on them so that you can heal anything that needs tending to. This would also be a great time to begin some spiritual practice that will help ease any troubled emotions you have or overcome fears that you've been harboring. So joy is yours for the taking, Scorpio rising. I mean that sincerely. Grab it with both fists and focus on what truly matters, and you will ride out this eclipse season well. All right, I am still running my special till March 1st. So if any of you would like to get a reading, I will be doing a 1-hour reading for $50. So please feel free to give me a call if you need a hand. And I would love to hear how this forecast is impacting your life. Did it ring true? Does it make sense? What's going down in your world? I like to know how things are working. If this eclipse is shaking you up in a good way, or what's happening. So please drop a comment. Let me know. Wish you the absolute best. Peace, blessings, and namaste.